Hey there, it's David from Outrage Science Bites, and here we are, day 30 of NaPodPoMo. Over the past month, we've explored outrage culture, political polarization, the role of media and social media, and the effects of outrage on our mental health. Today I want to wrap things up with a call to action. After all, knowledge is only as powerful as the actions we take from it. Now, taking on the entire outrage industry is more than any of us can do alone. But here's the thing, you don't have to do it all. If each of us commits to even just one action, together we can make a real difference. So let's dive in. I'm going to lay out a few simple, practical steps you can take right now to start reducing outrage and building bridges. You don't have to do all of them, just one is enough. But hey, if you're feeling ambitious, feel free to take on more. Option 1. The Media Literacy Pledge. We've talked a lot about how misinformation and sensationalism fuel outrage. So I'm inviting you to take a Media Literacy Pledge. Consider a political question that is a hot-button issue for you. How did you first learn about it? How do you keep yourself updated? Do you feel like those sources allow you to give dissenting perspectives on the issue the attention they are due? If not, where could you go to understand alternative perspectives? Option 2, the digital detox. If you've been feeling overwhelmed by outrage, maybe it's time for a digital detox. Here's the challenge. Take a break from social media or unfollow or mute accounts that stir up anger. Even just a day of less screen time can make a huge difference to your mental health. Think about the things in your life that lift you up, bring you joy, or make you feel closer to where you want to be. Once you identify these, make a point to prioritize and do more of them instead of going online. Option 3, echo chamber busting. Next up, let's break out of our echo chambers. I challenge you to follow someone or read something that presents a viewpoint different from your own. This can foster empathy and reduce polarization. But let's be real here. It can also increase negative feelings, especially if the content is provocative or sensationalized. We might encounter ideas that shock or even anger us. To be effective in this requires mindfulness to manage our emotional responses and media literacy to discern between informative content and sensationalized junk. Option 4, join bridge-building movements. For those of you ready to take it a step further, there are amazing organizations out there working to bridge divides. Consider joining or supporting groups like Crossing Party Lines or the Harwood Institute. These movements are dedicated to fostering understanding and building a new civic path. It's a tangible way to be part of the solution. Option 5, the Turn Down the Temperature Pledge. Commit to cooling things down, both online and in person. Take the Turn Down the Temperature Pledge. Promise yourself that in your next heated discussion, you'll pause, take a breath, and engage calmly without letting emotions escalate. Small moments of restraint can lead to big changes in how we communicate. For instance, give yourself this prompt. Before sharing this comment, take a moment to consider, could this language feel provocative or dismissive to people with different views? Are there words or phrases here that might convey contempt or judgment, even unintentionally? How could I rephrase this to focus on ideas instead of emotions so the conversation stays open and constructive? Option 6, teach and share. Finally, if you're passionate about what you've learned this month, share it with others. Think of it as paying it forward. So there you have it, 6 powerful actions you can take. These will be in the show notes. My challenge to you today is simple. Pick just one small step. That's all it takes to start making a difference. But hey, if you feel like taking on 2 or more, even better. I'd love to hear what you choose. Reach out and let me know which action you're committing to, whether it's busting out of your echo chamber, joining a bridge building movement, or taking a digital detox. You're contributing to a calmer, more thoughtful world. Thanks for joining me this month on Outrage Science Bites. Together we've explored the science behind outrage, and now it's time to put that knowledge into action. Let's all commit to turning down the temperature, one small step at a time. Before I wrap up this final episode of this year's 30-day challenge, I want to give a shout out to my fellow participants in the challenge. I've been listening to the mega feed, and it's quite interesting the variety of styles, formats, topics, and so on. It gives me a lot to think about for next year's challenge. I wanted to particularly give a shout out to Dave Campbell and his How to Podcast series podcast, who first got me into the challenge last year. I also want to thank Jennifer Navarrete for organizing NaPodPoMo over all these 17 years and being so generous in helping us. Until next time, I'm David Beckmeyer, and this has been Outrage Science Bites, National Podcast Post Month 2024. Stay calm, stay curious, And remember, outrage doesn't have to rule our world. If you enjoyed this month of Outrage Science Bites episodes, you may want to check out the long-form Outrage Overload podcast. Visit outrageoverload.net for past episodes, links, and contact information.